The letters ZR1 have always meant ultimate performance on a Corvette. We've been waiting for the C7 ZR1 for quite a few years now, and here it is. I'm at the 2017 Los Angeles Auto Show, and this is the 2019 Corvette ZR1. Let's take a first look. When the current C7 debuted back in 2014, it was an instant hit for Chevy, and we've all been knowing that a ZR1 version was coming. This is a vehicle that sits above the current Z06 in the portfolio for the Vette, and it signifies the end of this life cycle. There's an all-new C8 coming, which will be switching to a mid-engine design, but until then, this is the ultimate Corvette. You can see the looks really portray that. It's got an all-new front end that kind of has its own unique carbon fiber splitter that adds downforce. It makes this car even lower than the standard Corvette Z06, although it does share a lot of the components and performance upgrades. You can see all Corvettes have these LED daytime running lights with bi-xenon headlights, and the car itself looks wider and lower than the last Z06 that I looked at in person. Now the wheels also are unique to the ZR1. These are specific wheels. They're huge carbon ceramic brakes that actually came off of the Z06, and then at the front they're 285s on 19, and then in the back they're like 355s on 20. So this is a car that definitely is going to need that big rubber to help put the power down. Now you can basically buy this car in a convertible or a coupe version. The convertible has a top speed of just over 200 miles an hour, while the coupe will be able to go about 212 miles an hour because of the stiffer structure. Now this is the standard wing that you get on the ZR1. There's also a ZTK performance package for $3,000. That gives you a wing that will give you about 950 pounds of downforce, and overall it looks, pretty similar to a lot of the other Vettes. Aside from the badge, you still have the quad outlet exhaust right in the center. It gives this car a super unique and aggressive look, but overall I think that the convertible version for me is definitely my favorite in terms of the looks, and I actually like the smaller wing, the standard wing, versus the big one that you can see on the other trim. So one of the most unique aspects of the ZR1 is underneath the hood. Now first of all, you're going to notice the engine itself is sticking outside of the hood because of the larger supercharger, which basically makes it sit up higher versus the standard Z06, and that's one of the reasons why GM just decided to show the engine itself, which is a cool aspect because if you're actually driving the car, you can see the engine kind of shift around whenever your foot hits the gas pedal. Now, the numbers, that's really what everyone cares about. This is a 6.2 liter supercharged V8. It's known as LT5 in the engine designation, and it makes about 100 more horsepower than the Z06, 755 horsepower and 715 pound-feet of torque. Now, the ZR1 only weighs about 60 pounds more than the standard Z06, which is going to make this one fast car. Now, you can take your pick between a 7-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic. I'm kind of surprised GM didn't put the 10-speed auto, but I'm guessing it probably can't handle the power of this motor. Now, Chevy does estimate this car will get to 60 in under 3 seconds, and this convertible model will top out at just over 200 miles an hour, or 212 if you guys go for the coupe. Now, fuel economy, it's actually been announced already. With the manual, it's rated at 15 in the city and 22 on the highway. That's surprisingly good numbers for an engine that puts out this much power. The automatic drops it to 13 in the city or 23 on the highway. I'm really looking forward to taking this one out when it does go on sale, and Chevy expects to sell around 2,000 to 3,000 units for the 2019 model year. For the inside of the ZR1, there isn't really too many changes from the standard Z06. It didn't really need it, although I am noticing right away there's a lot more carbon fiber in here. The seats also are pretty specific to the competition seats you get in a Z06. They really hug you, they hold you in place, so if you're a little bit wider, you're probably not going to fit. Overall, the rest of the stuff in here is pretty similar. You have suede Alcantara. It's kind of like these LT3 or the top of the line 3 package that you find in the other Vettes. I like the real carbon fiber here, and on the steering wheel, it's a flat bottom design. Some of the switchgear I'm noticing is definitely on the older side. For example, the turn signals, the buttons, they remind me of some Chevy products or GM products from a few years ago. The infotainment system here, it still has that screen that folds down. It does have Android Auto and CarPlay, but it's not the newest version of the Chevrolet MyLink. Now, my tester has the 8-speed auto. There's also the 7-speed manual. I don't know which one I would go for, honestly. I like the idea of, the convenience of a manual or the automatic, but the Chevy actually says the manual is the better one for track duty if you guys are planning to track this. Now, the ZR1 will be going on sale in the spring of next year, with pricing actually set at a $119,900 for the coupe, or about $4 grand more if you want the convertible. I know that's a lot for a Corvette, but keep in mind, this is a 755 horsepower beast. And honestly, sitting back here in this driver's seat, seeing how high that hood is, you can barely look over it. So short drivers are probably not going to like how tall the hood is, but it'll be really interesting when I actually take one of these and drive it to see the engine kind of flex around when you're behind the wheel. For Redline Reviews at the 2017 Los Angeles Auto Show, I'm Sophian Bay.